With the fantasy football season rapidly approaching, I am going over 4 players that you are going to want to avoid drafting this upcoming season. The first one is going to be a bit of a shock, but it's going to be quarterback CJ Stroud from the Houston Texans. Listen, I get it. This kid is phenomenal. I'm not saying he's not good, but check this thing out. In 2023, he had 5 top 10 quarterback finishes, and of 4 of those 5 top 10 finishes, those came towards the end of the season, which really helped make his season be a very successful one. CJ Stroud threw for over 4,000 yards and actually was able to finish as the QB 11 in fantasy last year. But what really has me worried about CJ Stroud is the fact that he has a really low ceiling because of the lack of rushing upside that he provides. And my main concern is where he's currently being drafted. As of this recording, CJ Stroud currently is going as the 41st overall player, which means to get him, it'll cost you about a 3rd to 4th round draft cost. And check this stat out. Since 2019, only 2 quarterbacks who finished in the top 10 had fewer than 200 rushing yards actually became top 5 options in fantasy football at the quarterback position. The first one is going to be Aaron Rodgers. He threw over 4,200 passing yards, but also had 48 touchdowns in 2020. And then the second is the GOAT himself, Tom Brady. In 2021, Tom Brady threw for over 5,000 yards and had 43 touchdowns. That's why for me, I just don't see CJ Stroud hitting that mark. And for me, that's why I'm a little bit reserved on actually looking to draft him at this cost. And that's why for me, he is an easy fade in 2024. The next player you are going to want to avoid is going to be running back Aaron Jones from the Minnesota Vikings. The longtime Packer had finished the season very strong. He had 3 games where he averaged 15.4 fantasy points and also had 5 straight games where he rushed over 100 yards on the ground, including those 2 playoff games that the Packers had. And over the offseason, he signed with the Minnesota Vikings. And the quick pros to that is that he has no running back competition, being that the Minnesota Vikings have Ty Chandler. My reservations come from the fact that this offense is going to feature a rookie quarterback. And despite all this, my main thing is also where he's being drafted. Where he's currently being drafted, I would much rather go with other running backs that may provide similar production. Running backs that are currently being drafted around where Aaron Jones is at also give me some concerns, but I would much rather go with guys like Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, or even Rashad White. Okay, before we go any further, this message is for all you dads or guys that are looking to get something for dad. I know Father's Day has already come and gone. However, it is never a bad idea to get yourself a Dad Gang hat. Premium hats for a great price, and I'm going to even help you out by giving you 15% off your order when you use Ivan39078 as the promo code at checkout. You'll save yourself 15% off. Now back to the video. The next player that I want you to avoid is going to be wide receiver Keenan Allen. And listen, he has come off a great season, but what always concerns me, despite him finishing as the wide receiver 8 last year, is the injury concerns. Keenan Allen is coming off now his 2nd season where he has missed 5 or more games. And essentially, too, I understand that now with Caleb Williams there in the mix, there are so many mouths that he's going to have to feed, being that this offense features DJ Moore, features rookie Rome Odunze that they just drafted, and it also features Cole Kmet and then DeAndre Swift in the backfield. And what concerns me also is the fact that Keenan Allen is going to also have to cost you a pretty hefty amount just to get him on your roster. With Keenan Allen costing you a 5th round draft cost, I would much rather pivot and go with those options there, such as George Pickens, Zay Flowers, and even Amari Cooper, being that they are in a more solidified role within those offenses. And my last player that I want you to avoid in 2024 is going to have to be wide receiver Gabe Davis out of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you ever wanted to look up what the term boomer bust means in fantasy football, look no further than Gabe Davis. This guy is boomer bust personified. And let me explain to you why that is. Last season, he had 4 games where he had 5+ receptions, where he actually had a pretty good fantasy finishes within those games. But within that season, he also had 5 games with 0 receptions, and it was never really consistent. It was always either 2 games he did really good, rather he did good 1 game, and then we would really wet the bed over the next few, and then have another good one. And it was just really a volatile season for those of you that had Gabe Davis. And the thing is, this offense also just drafted Brian Thomas. They already have familiar targets there for Trevor Lawrence, such as Evan Ingram as well as Christian Kirk. My main concern really is how inefficient he is with getting separation. And and let me explain a little further. Last season in 2023, he ranked 83rd in win rate versus man coverage. He also ranked 126th in overall route win rate. And even though where he's being drafted currently isn't much of a concern, I just believe there are better options there, such as someone like a Rashid Shaheed, who has more of a solidified potential wide receiver 2 role within that offense. Listen, the summer is heating up, and with that, we're going to be dropping some more videos for you to get you ready for the upcoming 2024 fantasy football season. So be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and comment some guys that you are looking to avoid, or maybe even send me some comments of guys that you want me to make videos on, so that way I can get you the update on whether or not they should be on your fantasy rosters. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video. We have a lot more videos here on the channel that'll help you out to get ready for the upcoming 2024 season. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.